The Bills can build a brand new stadium, spend hundreds of millions of dollars, and Josh Allen can throw for 40 touchdowns. But look, none of that matters, guys, if history keeps repeating itself. Today I'm going to break down why Josh Allen is simply not that guy. He's a great quarterback, but he is not that guy to bring Buffalo to the promised land. And here's why. My first point: the playoff resume isn't elite enough. Allen has incredible playoff numbers. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately the Bills, they're judged by championships. All teams are. They're judged by championships. Right. Since becoming a contender with Allen, Buffalo has lost to Kansas City multiple times. They failed to even reach a Super Bowl. Their ceiling is obviously the AFC Championship game. Great quarterbacks, they eventually break through. Peyton Manning did. John Elway did. I'm sorry. Matthew Stafford got there immediately after changing teams to the Rams. That says something about the Rams for you there. But at what point does he played great in losses stop being enough? You know, Allen, he he's done very, very well in playoff games. You know what I'm saying? But he always seems to shoot himself in the foot. Last year was supposedly his year. Mahomes was down, Burrow was down. There was no competition. Bro had a red carpet to the Super Bowl and failed. And failed. That tells me when the path is that clear, you got a second year, third year quarterback that you're going against. Granted, they have an elite defense, but you're going against young QBs. That tells me all I need to know about Josh Allen. And that's going to take me to my second point. That's going to take me to my second point. He's got too many hero ball tendencies. He forces way too many throws into coverage. He simply tries to do too much, especially when he's trailing. You know, Takes a ton of unnecessary hits, regular season, postseason. He leaves it all. I'll give it to him. He leaves it all on the field in the postseason, all on the field. But it comes a point when you're doing too much. Josh Allen is the most talented quarterback in football, not named Patrick Mahomes. But sometimes he still feels like he plays like he's trying to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Even when bro has huge games, like there are often one or two decisions that change everything. Right? He might throw a dumb pass in the tight coverage, or he might try to run the ball when he, has a man open downfield because he is not trusting his arm or his receiver. Josh Allen is infamous for that, and that's his downfall. That is 110% his downfall. And that's going to bring me to my third point. He hasn't shown that he can beat Mahomes, but sometimes, I'm sorry. he, point number three, he hasn't shown but that he can beat Mahomes when it matters, and this is the biggest narrative with him. This is absolutely 110% the biggest narrative. Mahomes has become Allen's version of Jordan to Barkley, Tom Brady to Phillip Rivers, LeBron to, dare I say, DeMar DeRozan. Here's the reality. If you can't get past Kansas City, you can't win a Super Bowl. Buffalo and Josh Allen, they keep running into the same wall. Right? Every year it's either Kansas City or it's Cincinnati. Last year it was Denver. And now they got New England to contend with. Their Super Bowl window is officially closed. Slam shut. Not closed, slam shut. right? And that brings me to point number 4. The cap situation is getting tougher. The cap situation is getting a lot tougher. The Bills have already paid Allen. They've paid multiple stars. And, they've had to reshuffle the roster quite a bit. Now, do you guys think the roster around him is actually improving? Or is, Buffalo, are they talented enough to survive injuries? And that's the thing with them. This offseason, they brought in DJ Moore. That's one thing they were lacking on offense. They drafted a rookie receiver. DJ Moore he's what, 29, 30? For a good while, most of the year last year, he looked cooked in Chicago. I thought he was done. I thought he was cooked. So, but Buffalo, I guess they saw enough in him to trade for him and then sign him to an extension. He got a nice little extension. Very nice extension. I don't know if DJ Moore is that guy. Can Josh Allen elevate him? He certainly can. He's got the tool set. And, he's done it before. He's elevated Khalil Shakir. He's taken him to another level. Like, if Khalil Shakir was on a different team, he wouldn't be relevant. Khalil Shakir wouldn't be relevant. So I think offensively, they've added enough. Ray Davis, the backup running back, to James Cook. He's taking another step forward. James Cook is James Cook. He's one of the top 5 running backs in the NFL. So they've improved offensively. Defensively, I think that's still going to be a big issue for them. The Bills' best opportunity to win the Super Bowl has already came and gone. From 2022 or 2020 to 2023, that was their best chance to win a Super Bowl. That was their best chance to win a Super Bowl. Outside of last year. Last year was their absolutely 110% best chance. Like, I don't ever see that, even in a new state. I don't see them even standing a chance this year. Last year was their best chance. Their last chance. And that's going to bring me to my 5th point. Allen's his style of play may not age well. He takes an absurd amount of punishment. He gets defenders get a clean shot on him every game. They get a clean shot on him every game. Question for my chat. How long do you guys think he can continue being a battering ram? He's 30. He's a dad now. He's married. Can he still be Superman at age 32 or 33? NFL quarterbacks, especially running quarterbacks, they don't last long, man. They don't last long in the league. Look at RG3. It's the poster boy for it. He lasted, a year, 2 years? I think his rookie year was his best year. Cam Newton was a lot bigger and stronger, but he got in his 30s and his play fell off a cliff. He was never really that good outside of year 1, his rookie year. He was never that good, but his play absolutely fell off a cliff. All those big hits, right? His Cam Newton's play declined rapidly after years of punishment. He was basically the goal line running back for his team. And there's size-wise, him and Cam Newton are very comparable to each other. Very comparable. And it's going to take me to my final point. The new stadium doesn't change the real problem. Like the stadium is a shiny distraction, super shiny distraction. They got the bison in the front, which is super cool looking, and they have the retractable roof. That's going to be beneficial, of course, for the players and fans who don't have to. Although I feel like the fans enjoyed throwing snow and playing in the snow during the games, but a new stadium is not going to beat Patrick Mahomes or Bo Nix or Joe Burrow or Drake May. And my sleeper team for this year, the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, a new stadium is not going to fix late game execution or terrible decision making, which Josh Allen has become accustomed to. You know, a new stadium doesn't stop turnovers. There was an issue for Josh Allen in college, and it's an issue for him now. Bad decisions, turnovers, fumbling the ball, interceptions. He did it in the playoffs. You know, some people just can't help themselves, and Josh Allen is simply one of those people. The problem is football related, not infrastructure related. So it's got nothing to do with the stadium, right? It's all Josh Allen, all Josh Allen. He plays great 95% of the game, and then that 1%, 2%, he screws up, costs his team everything. Now, if Josh Allen isn't the guy, who is? He's got elite playoff stats, has often lost despite playing well. He's had monster games and still lost. Defense has collapsed in some playoff losses. Remember a couple of years ago, he was going back and forth with Mahomes, and his defense let him down, touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. So it's not entirely all on him. The front office definitely deserves more blame for failing to give him a good offense, man. They got him a good running back. They got him a great running back. Get him a great receiver. They had Diggs for some years. Diggs became a distraction. He had to go. Bye-bye, Diggs. Get him a great receiver. I feel like they got him a solid one this year in DJ Moore. So the front office definitely deserves more of the blame. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? If Josh Allen is not the guy to win the Buffalo Bills a Super Bowl, then who is? Who is? Is it currently somebody playing in college? Could it be Brennan Sorsby? He has to sit out this year for reasons that we won't roast him for. Dummy, big dummy. Just got a huge NIL deal. God, he's stupid. Oh, God, he's stupid. People don't take advantage of their opportunities. Is it somebody in the NFL currently? Maybe it's somebody holding somebody else's clipboard. Could be. It could be someone starting for someone right now. Maybe they'll look to trade him in the offseason or trade for him in the offseason, get something for Josh Allen before he starts showing decline. I feel like this year is going to be his last best year. This year is going to be Josh Allen's last best year. So, yeah, man, very interested this season to see how Josh is going to do. But again, if he isn't the guy, then who is? Who's going to be the guy to lead Buffalo to the promised land? They've got the team. They've got a solid core around them. It's going to be up to him. And if he's not the guy this year, you have to go in a different direction. You have to. Right? Josh Allen is approaching James Harden status. Great regular season, stinks postseason. Some players just like that clutch gene. Some players simply lack the clutch gene. Josh Allen, maybe one of them, can't win the big game. And not to throw shade at Buffalo, but that's been a thing in you guys' history, right? You can't win the big game. So very interested to see what happens this season. It's gonna be a fun season. Um, AFC is open, NFC is open. I think the Seahawks 1 year and done. They're not repeating. Uh, Anybody can win it this year. Patriots could be back. Mahomes. I feel like the Chiefs are. They did bad last year, but I think they're going to be even worse this upcoming season. I think they're going to be even worse this upcoming season. So no playoffs 2 years in a row for them. Now, granted, if they take a more run-based approach like they have with Kenneth Walker, by signing Kenneth Walker, then I think they'll be okay. But yeah, man, this is going to be a fun season. You guys, let me know what you guys think. Is Josh Allen that guy? Is he not that guy? For the Bills to take them to the promised land, the Super Bowl, get them something that they probably won't ever see. And that's the Lombardi Trophy. But thank you guys for joining. Subscribe if you're new. Smash that like button for more terrible takes. And I will catch you guys on the next one real soon. Peace.